Samuel Harris is a 21-year-old photographer based out of Columbus, Ohio, who specializes in abstract photography.
Yeah, so I originally thought it was really boring. My mom and my older sister do it, but I was just like, that's their thing. I want to do like sketches, and I had watched when I was really young. A bunch of me and my friends would just make videos like every week on this like $10 like dollar store camera, but it just turned into like this fun of like just collaborating and creating. So it kind of sparked this thing when that sort of had fallen out, and was I was wanting to do more collaboration, but a lot of my friends had strayed away from that and done other things. So I was like, okay, I'm not really into this film thing anymore, but I'm just gonna do photography. I'm not really into either right now, but I'm just gonna see this because it's different. And I ended up falling in love with it and having a different perspective on what like videos I would want to shoot. So it kind of formed both and elevated those all together. And it just I purely want to do it. I go out and do it. I don't think about or motivate myself to do it. It's just something I love doing. So yeah, it was. I feel like it's lame to say it would be my iPhone. So I will. I'll say my mom's phone, and that sounds worse. But I would steal my mom's phone and like use it to take photos and use it to kind of like I said make videos. And when I first my real first camera would be a Canon 70D, which I'd use my student loan, like just my loan money. It paid off my classes for my community college, and so I had some extra funds. So I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to do this, but I'm gonna buy a real like a Mac and a camera that I know nothing about, and it just looks great because I knew nothing about it. So I'm just gonna go to this camera store, and they helped me out, and they're like, "Oh, you want to do?" I was still kind of wanting to do video at that time, so they're like, "Oh, this flip out screen, it's HD." I'm like, "Great! I don't know if you just sold me on this or not, but I'm sold. I don't know if I'm supposed to buy it." And then it sat there for a while. I still use my iPhone a lot because I was comfortable with that. And then I was like, you know what? I don't know anything about this camera. So I had it for about a year, and I still didn't actually use it. Like it just sat there. But then I started getting into a community where I was like, I want to do street photography or, minimalistic abstract photography. Like I would go out, like I said, and walk out. I would just go and take photos of stuff. So that first camera I knew nothing about, it sparked me wanting to learn more about it. And it was a solid first camera. Yeah. Yeah. So, kind of like I said, I didn't know anything about it. So I would go out and shoot, and I'd be like on automatic, but I was just not satisfied with it because what I wanted when I'd see it, people's like photography that I wanted mine to look like. I mean, it's an auto, so it's not you doing anything. The camera, based on these metrics, what statistically would seem right, which is that's not what art is. I mean, you shoot what you would want it to look like, whether it's really dark or really bright. It's up to you. So but I knew I needed to know the technical aspect of that to grab into that. So I was like, I need to know how to do this to break the rules. So I had gone on YouTube, and I didn't like the professor's photos that I had researched, how they had done stuff. So I just went online and just watched free lectures online of film and just cinematography in itself, and why it's important to just be knowledgeable in that, just learning by yourself. That's just how I learn. Just research it and try again. And a lot of my photos and that kind of how I got into film as well, alongside that inspired me to go into film. You just learn it by trial and error. So yeah, so I have a Canon 60. I just got a full frame camera, which in summary, most digital cameras come with a smaller, it's called an APS-C sensor, which full frame cameras, the sensors itself are an old film camera, so the depth and the light is always there. So when the colors and the sharpness, there's just so crisp, and it's like, how does this look like it looks fake? Like it doesn't look real, and it's like, this is why film photography, not mainly, but that side thing of how well constructed and like the sensor itself. So when I had upgraded from that Canon 70D to a 6D, and mostly the less amount of lettering or numbers with Canon, at least, it goes higher up in price and value and whatnot. So that's what I have now, and it gives me that ability to like have my view you know, like my vision itself, and say, hey, I'm now getting this because I know that background technical aspect from limited resources and limited tools that other people would not use, like my iPhone, or just that general like $500 digital camera. And it just taught me that, wow, I'm appreciating now these upgrades that I don't actually need, but they help me because I know with limited resources that I grew to be more creative. So it just, it helped a lot, but it's not what made me good. So.
As opposed to
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, because I had sold my digital camera, the Canon 70D. So I had, like I mentioned earlier, I had jumped to film. So it was pure, you could do automatic on some film cameras, but some is just like, is just manual, and or it's just, it's kind of automatic in certain settings, but it's not like pure digital where it's like gets the face and the screen grab, and it gets based on all these like algorithms. It's a complete manual thing. I mean, you have to load the film in there. So it really just, the Canon bodies are usually generally the same, but there are those certain features that if you don't know why they matter as being upgraded compared to the older version, it doesn't matter. So with film cameras, you're just kind of brought into this and like, oh, I have to research this and trial and error just like I did last time, but it's not an immediate result. So I don't know. I have to go to the shop and get it developed. I have to go and have it scanned. And do they scan it properly? Is it even developed properly? So I'm relying completely on myself to research and find like just small like tips and solutions to like get the desired result that I'd want. So when I had gotten the all out really expensive camera, the 6D, it was, I didn't think about it. It was just, I know what I want, I know what I need, and this is why I got it. I didn't sprawl to that other one that I did last time because I had no knowledge. So it was very small, subtle changes, but it did matter based on my previous experience. It's all about, and I keep mentioning it, and I feel weird maybe that I keep mentioning it, but like, it's seriously trial and error. And I always go back to, it's really cliche, but the guy that researches the rules and how to play better at basketball is not going to be good than the guy that doesn't know all the technicalities and specificities, but he's got the form down, and he knows where he needs to be, and he knows how the game works, and he can physically do it. So if you just sit there and research all the time, you're never actually going to get good, because you're going to go on the field. Theoretically, these things work, but that's not what art or really anything is about. You can't just, you know, statistically, this is what it's going to be, and then you're thrown into the situation where if you're shooting for a client and you're out in a nightclub and there's lights changing, well, theoretically, this could work, but no, you just need to know in that experience how to do it and be dropped into it. So you need to go out and mess up and have these photos look bad. And for the first like year, I mean, seriously, my photos did not, I was so unhappy, and I thought it was the gear, but it was me. You just have to, anything, you just have to be thrown into it and learn by experience. So that's it. Okay.